Yeah, so in as much as we live life in this structure of work mostly, even when you're living in play, there comes a time when you're so engrossed in that action that you do not you define movement as growth, right? You define movement as progress, and that becomes a problem, right? So how do you really wake up, right? First thing is you listen to messages like this, messages that help you see that life is so multi-dimensional, right? What you're living now is just a fraction of it. There's so many layers to life, right? And as you begin to know more of those things, you become more awake, you become more aware, because awareness is simply a change in perception, right? A change in perception. So growth of awareness is a change in perception, right? So you have to perceive more, to know more, to be aware more, right? So in this understanding, we can only shift out of this repetition when we change vibration, or when we uh, 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 within ourselves incorporate a change in vibration. And how do we change in this same vibration, right? Simply through imagination, right? Now, what is vibration? First, let's start with that. What is vibration? Because so many people talk about this vibration, and a change in vibration is a change of experience, and which is true, right? Which is true. I'll take this for example. Right, this is a mouse, right? This is a mouse, and I have here this little book of mine, right? These are both energy, right? These are both energy. All right, there's so much, I don't know what dirt that is. All right, anyway, these are both energy, right? So yeah, those two items are both energy. All right, that's 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 their makeup, right? That's what makes them. But the truth is that they're both different vibrations, or different modulations. Yeah, that's the best word. They're both different modulations of the same energy. So your life is just a different modulation of energy. Whatever chaos you're going through, whatever bliss you're going through, whatever neutral ground you are at, whatever neutral ground you're at, is simply energy. And once you realize this fact, you realize that I need not be stuck where I am. I only need to shift my vibration. And vibration is really a movement, right, of energy, right? A certain play, so to say, of energy, right? So these two items I showed you are simply different vibrations, or are vibrating differently from one another, right? But of the same substance, of the same make, right? So once you realize that, you see that all I need to do to change my situation, to get out of this repetition, is simply change my vibration. And you vibrate imaginatively, right? Imagination is the source of all vibration in the universe. Imagination is the source of all vibration in the universe, because it is the I am, and I am is that energy vibrating in different modes, right? I all that you see around you, the whole of the universe is just it's just in different modulations, but it is of the same substance, right? So that's what you need to understand. So you can only change your structure, or you can only change your experience when you vibrate differently, and you only do that imaginatively. All right, that is how you wake up. That is how you start to learn that, oh, okay, I need not be stuck. I need not live life as it comes to me. I can actually project a certain form of life I want to live. Because before we are awake, we live life as it comes to us. When good things come to us, we're happy. When bad things come to us, we're sad. But once you realize, oh no, life begins from the within, as that scripture says in the Bible, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Right? So as you begin to realize that fact, you say, okay, it's coming from within, it's not coming from without, right? It's not happening to me from, okay, it is happening to me from without, but it's all springing forth from within, from the within. And once you realize that, you begin to see that, okay, I can change my experiences, I can change this repetition, and I do not need to be a zombie. But before that, we live out of impulse. Like I always say, living out of impulse is simply living out of whatever is happening around us, right? Whatever thing is happening around us, responding in that regard, because we do not know that we're living, that it's all happening from within, right? But living from without is actually living in the shadows, right? Because we see the shadows and respond in accordance with the shadows, right? I'm sure you've seen those people that know how to manipulate their hands, and they make some animal or some bird or some whatever. They're so good with their hands. They manipulate them, and the shadow looks like something, right? Something out of this world. So that's what I'm talking about. Before you really know, you'll be focused on the shadow and thinking, oh, that's an elephant, or something someone has made with their hands, or that's a bird, or whatever. There's this guy I saw on was it on TikTok? I can't remember, or YouTube. He was so good with his hands, where he was making these shadows that looked like Michael Jackson, and was dancing with his hands, and it was really captivating. But when you do not know what's going on, you think, oh, that's Michael Jackson, or that's a human being dancing. But not really. It's just the hands, someone manipulating with the hands. And that's what this world is all about. All right? The scriptures I'll bring it to the Bhagavad Gita. They say this whole universe is really Maya, right? Now Maya is the is really the delusion of this world, of this reality. They say all this that you see is all delusion. The real substance is beyond that, and they call it Maya. All right. Oh, it's the illusion rather, right? All this is illusory, right? And once you realize the real, you begin to see that all this is fleeting. All this is really transitory, right? All the situations that you're going through are really transitory, because they are not real. The real is behind them, and the real is consciousness, right? And we've been talking about this on this channel. The real is consciousness. And once you realize that consciousness is the real, once you realize that consciousness is the true, you stop living from without. You stop living from impulse. You start living from within, because you realize that out of your heart are the issues of life. Out of your imaginations, out of your musing, out of your ramifications are the issues of life. And so this is what you need to understand. But until then, you live according to impulse. You live in following impulse. You live following groups. You live following people. You live following peer pressure, really, right? But that's not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live in accordance to our highest self, and that highest self is the I am, God within us, right? So this is what I wanted to bring forth today. And please like and subscribe. Do not forget to put something in the comments. Tell me what you think I should add next, and I'll see you next time.